Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new era of iRacing Motorsports broadcasting. This is the first ever broadcast on Leadfoot TV, the official network now of the Leadfoot Racing League, the Ross Dalton Racing, and 4Wide Motorsports iRacing specials as well. And you are looking live at the virtual New Smyrna Speedway in beautiful Sunshine State, Florida, and we welcome you to the race that is called the Sunshine State 125. Who better name to have for the next round of the Ross Dalton Racing Late Model E-Tour? I am Wesley Outland. Joined alongside is Ryan Tomford. Mr. Tracy Brown might chime in as well. He'll push some buttons. And look at the awesome graphics there. Ryan, are you ready for this new era for Leadfoot TV, buddy? Good evening to you. I hope you had a good weekend since I saw you at Wake County on a wild Friday night a couple days ago.
Yeah, I'm excited for this new era of Leadfoot TV. You know, I'm excited to be calling this first broadcast here on this new channel. And you know, we had a wild race at Wake County Speedway. A bunch of craziness happened. So you know, I hope tonight in the Ross Dalton League, you know, we don't see that type of craziness that we've also had in the last few weeks here in this league. So you know, I hope it's a chill night and it goes by quickly.
Well, before we go any further, we need to let everybody from our audience know, before we give you the race details of what happened, after what happened last Sunday night at Myrtle Beach Speedway, the winner of the race was disqualified, giving the race win to someone else, meaning that there are now 5 different winners in 5 races on the season. Obviously, the win was taken away from the driver of the Silver Bullet entry after looking at replay and making calls about a bump and run at the finish. The decision was made that there was a disqualification and the win was given to the other driver at the end of it. Let's take a look at New Smyrna and current conditions. The weather is looking great tonight here as we are mere minutes away from going racing. New Smyrna, current conditions, 65 track temp, 67, 81 degrees. A windy day, though. A windy day into the night at New Smyrna Speedway. Partly cloudy skies just outside of Daytona Beach, Florida, where NASCAR was last night for the NASCAR Cup Series regular season finale. And Daytona and New Smyrna right close to one another. And obviously a perfect virtual night for iRacing conditions at New Smyrna here, Ryan.
Yeah, it's great weather conditions there, and you know they had the great race at Daytona. So you know, I hope great race tonight.
Let's give you the format for tonight's race. Obviously, for the Sunshine State 125, it will be 125 laps. Caution laps will count. There will be a competition caution around lap number 40 or so. Usually, that will take place. They are giving one set of tires as well as the set of tires that they qualified on. There will be one attempt at a green-white checker if need be, and that will be it. But that is the way that things go down here, and as far as I know, there will not be any fast repairs. So no fast repairs. I don't know why RaceLink says 3 laps, 0.1 miles. It's all... Yeah, so it's not updated yet. It's still in qualifying mode, that's why it's showing it. So, we'll give you the race details whenever we actually get done giving you the starting lineup. But we're ready to go, and we're ready for this new start on Leadfoot TV. I'll bring in Tracy Brown. Tracy, you've been tweaking, you've been ticking, you've been punching the keyboard, working on graphics. I love the new logo, by the way. Leadfoot TV ready to launch tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, we are tickled to death to be able to create something unique and be able to bring it to the local broadcasters. I mean, local racers. I'm sorry, I've got a severe echo in my head here, so I'm I'm not too terribly incapacitated, but it just sounds that way. So right now, I got to work on that.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it gives a little bit of echo. I think it's because you're going out through the broadcast and the stream at the same time. But obviously, looking forward to what will be on Leadfoot TV. By the way, this is the official first race on the network. However, the official series of the Leadfoot TV is the Leadfoot Racing League presented by Eastern Technical Design. It will be coming back next Sunday night. 8 p.m. Eastern, season number 4 of the Leadfoot Racing League. And it looks like it's going to be really, really cool. Another 10-race series. And Ryan, we're about ready to go very soon, man, for qualifying to come to an end and go racing here at New Smyrna.
Yeah, qualifying's about to finish up. So, I'm excited to see, what we have in store for this race. You said you got 125 laps, and there's a lot of banking here at New Smyrna. It's very banked in the corner, so I'm excited to see how that plays out in tonight's race.
Yeah, we want to remind you again, this is something new. Leadfoot TV is a new YouTube channel for the iRacing broadcast. And if you are not new to this channel, please click the subscribe so you can be able to keep up with all of the information. Hit that bell as well so you'll know whenever we go live on Leadfoot TV for coverage of iRacing and any other cool things that we've got planned for the foreseeable future. Obviously, first race tonight is the Leadfoot Racing League. Next week, tonight is the Ross Dalton Racing Driver Development Series. And, hey, they're coming off of some pretty wild races last night at Caraway Speedway. I was on the play-by-play broadcast call with Randy Pettit and Zachary Murtis at Caraway Speedway last night. And, obviously, really good runs in the RDR Driver Development machines. And good to see them out the racetrack. The field is gritting, and we are about ready for the first feature race ever on Leadfoot TV as we get ready to introduce the starting lineup here in just a moment. They are gritting behind the iRacing pace car, and we are ready to roll. Here it is. Look at that awesome graphic here for the RDR Late Model Stock E-Tour here at New Smyrna Speedway. On the pole, Peanut Baker will be the man to lead him with the green flag on the outside of row 1. Aaron Stoltz in the 0-2. That's the gold and white machine. Row number 2 will find Aiden Millett in the number 9. Aiden Millett, followed by Ross Boo Boo Dalton. Stepped away for race director duties last week, but the 50-star is back. And inside of him will be Mason Walters in the 500, followed by the machine of Cliff Mullins. Cliff Mullins will make up the outside of row number 3. Ryan, you got the rest of the lineup.
Yeah, in 7th place, we got Bradley Wolford, and next to him in row 4 is Ethan Johnson in that 27 car, Speedy Bird in row 5, and Aiden Mendenhall, who's had, pretty good season up to this point, finds himself in 10th place, and Bryson Brinkley finds himself alone in row 6.
There you go. There's the lineup. 12 drivers here to go. As again, if you're just joining us, there it is. 125 laps, 61 miles. This is a half-mile track here at New Smyrna Speedway. 1 set of tires, no fast repairs. Stage competition at lap number 40. And remember, 1 attempt at overtime if need be for these drivers. By the way, as I mentioned, caution laps do count. The field is gritting. We will step away and take a quick break. When we come back, we're dropping the green flag here at New Smyrna next. Eastern Technical Design Incorporated provides design and drafting services for commercial, industrial, and residential construction. Services include architectural renderings, preliminary plan design, as well as final construction drawings. These drawings include all the necessary structural, building, plumbing, and mechanical electrical plans as required to produce and deliver a finished building and/or structure. This company is proudly owned by LFRL's Tracy Brown. Eastern Technical Design. Contact them today at 252-245-1599 or email them at easterntechnicaldesign@gmail.com. commercial, industrial, and residential construction, Eastern Technical Design is the perfect plan for your building needs. Back here at New Smyrna Speedway, preliminary laps are underway as the drivers get ready for the Sunshine State 125 on Leadfoot TV. There you see some of the new graphics, the new scoring ticker, and Ryan, we're about one lap away from turning them a full song here for virtual Sunday Night Thunder.
Yeah, these graphics look great on this broadcast tonight. You know, I'm always at Wake County Speedway creating new graphics, and you know, this definitely looks top tier for tonight's race.
Certainly does. As again, these drivers are right now looking for the green flag. I'm understanding they might get one more lap as they are getting a couple of extra pace laps around the racetrack before we get them into position to go to green flag. Once you start seeing them double up behind the pace car, then that means they'll get the one-to-go indication, and I got a feeling that is about to happen here in just a matter of moments, as right now, Peanut Baker, Aaron Stoltz on your front row, as these drivers will be ready to turn them loose here in just a moment. Once we get preliminary laps out of the way, as these drivers, again, continuing to warm up their tires, get them nice and clean, swerving back and forth, getting the engines and everything in the car up to temperature, and we'll be ready to turn them loose here in just a moment. Want to say thank you for joining us on Leadfoot TV. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as you're seeing one by one. Everybody now starting to get from single file, now doubled up. The one-to-go indication has now officially been given to the field, and there you see the field of the beautiful cars one by one being introduced from first to 12. 12 drivers ready to bring them down to the green flag. Lights are off on the pace car. They were given a couple of extra preliminary laps. We're ready for a new era on Leadfoot TV. We hope you're ready to strap in for the next round of the Ross Dalton Racing Driver Development Late Model Stock E-Tour. They race for real on Friday and Saturday. They go iRacing on Sunday, and we are green at virtual New Smyrna. The Sunshine State 125 is on. Stoltz, Baker, side by side, Ryan, as they thunder into turn number 3, ready to put lap 1 on the board here in Florida.
It looks like Stoltz and Baker are going to be almost dead even over the start-finish line. They're side by side through this first entire lap, and there's a side-by-side battle behind them between Ross Dalton and Millette.
And they'll work their way down into the corner into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes now the Dyna Millette down to the inside. He'll make this run down there, almost 3 wide for third. It will be 3 wide. Millette, the hot dog, flying out of the bun. He'll sneak up and scamper to the outside. Bounces off the wall. Keeps contact now with Walters to his inside. All this goes on as Millette goes up the hill out of 4.
Yeah, Millette just got very high there in 3 and just ran it continuously high into 4 and just lost 2 positions there from third to, and now he finds himself in 5th.
Right now, back straightaway, turn number 3. Stoltz now holding on to the top spot by about 2 or 3 tenths over Baker. Now Millette gets a little sideways again, battling with Ross Dalton. Boo-boo now into that spot. That's the black and blue number 50 star behind Walters on the back stretch. Right now, just kind of watching these guys work their way down the back straightaway. It is all Aaron Stoltz continuing to hold on to that top spot. Baker, that's Peanut Baker, by the way. Behind him is Walters and Dalton. Millette, your top 5, and everybody just kind of being calm, cool, collected here in the early going of this race, working lap number 6 of 125 at New Smyrna, Ryan.
Yeah, they're just being very orderly, and, you know, they know that the caution's going to come out eventually for the a stage caution basically. So, they got to keep their car in all one piece so that when they get to that point, they're not wrecked and they can finish the rest of the race.
By the way, I know this is a new broadcast network on Leadfoot TV. However, this is round number 6 of the Ross Dalton Racing Driver Development Late Model Stock E-Tour. And tonight we are at New Smyrna Speedway. There has been 5 winners in the first 5 races of the season. Jacob York III did cross the line at Myrtle Beach last Sunday night. However, that win was taken away, and there was another first-time winner. There is now 5 different winners on the year, and right now Stokes would make the 6th different one. Who is leading the way? There you see Bird in the back, and there is Stokes and the leaders working on 4.
Yeah, I mean, if any of the top 3 drivers tonight, I believe we'll have our 6th winner. So, all the top 3 are chasing their first win of the season. So that's something to continuously watch out tonight, because all these drivers want to win, as we've got a caution on the speedway.
We do have a yellow flag out over the racetrack. Caution is out. We'll find out what happened as Cliff Mullins got some help from Walford's car, it looked like. And that'll put us under the yellow flag for the first time. Blue line soft wash. Caution flag number 1. 13 of 125 laps when they come back to the line. Half mile here at the New Smyrna Speedway. And again, caution out. Tell you what, we've seen Stokes look really, really good here in the early going. Peanut Baker and Mason Walters right now, 1 through 3, 4. Obviously, still a long way to go in this race, but right now, this is where we are currently. That is Aaron Stokes' car right there. As obviously, he is leading the way. There is Mullins' car coming back down on pit lane. Cliff Mullins in the 37. He'll have to get some service on his machine. First caution of the race presented by Blue Line Soft Wash. You have the option if you want to, Ryan, to come down to the pit lane, but obviously I think they're waiting until the competition caution at lap number 40.
Yeah, I think that's what most drivers will probably do tonight with the strategy. Come down on lap 40 and get your car serviced then. You may see drivers come down earlier if we get another caution closer to the lap 40, but it's probably going to be on lap 40 we see drivers come down.
Tell you what, I was a very controversial difference of opinion of what happened last Sunday night, but obviously the driver, Jacob York III, got disqualified. That gave the win to somebody else. And because of that, we have now had 5 winners in 5 races, obviously tonight here at New Smyrna Speedway. Not done yet. Phil gets doubled up. We're ready to go back to racing. By the way, caution laps do count. I wanted to let you know that as well. I think I mentioned that earlier. Caution laps do count to help make this race go by a lot smoother and quicker. Here comes the field, ready behind the pace car, 2x2x2, with Stoltz and Baker now side by side. Restart zone. Back underway. FWM, green flag. That's 4 Wide Motorsports. You'll be checking out some of their coverage on Leadfoot TV as the green flag comes back in the air. All right, Ryan, side by side, top 4, door to door, as they'll send it off into 1. Baker makes a move on Stoltz for the lead in the corner.
Yeah, once again, we're seeing this on another restart, side by side for the top 4. Baker on the outside is slightly having the advantage, and he will probably clear Stoltz off the exit of 4 here.
Side by side there for just a moment for that third position. That's Mason Walters, originally from California, now living in the Carolinas. One of the RDR drivers right there, battling with the boss. Ross Dalton on his outside. Working off the corner. Side by side as they go into the turn. Ross Dalton had Rylan Louder make his late model Charger debut in a RDR driver development entry last night. Mason Walters in a race car as well in the limited late models. And it was also Cody Griffin driving in the Chargers, driving with Ross Dalton. Good to see Ross last night at Caraway Speedway. And right now, they are all single file with a RDR car leading the way. Peanut Baker now in 3 and 4.
Yeah, Peanut Baker is leading here, but Stoltz is just peeking his nose under Stoltz here, and he's battling for the lead.
So obviously, again, Jacob York, the race winner at Myrtle Beach, disqualified. Opened that door to now 5 winners in 5 races. And right now we see Stoltz trying to stay up in front and be the man that could lead now as Peanut Baker slips a little bit. He falls back into the clutches of the top 5. Back to 4th position on the racetrack as they work their way back into the corner.
Yeah, Peanut Baker, after he got past there, he's just fallen like a rock and has dropped many positions here.
The sound of the late models roaring towards lap 25. Mason Walters looked like he about got a tag off the wall. You're on board now with Peanut Baker, the 22. He led some of the race earlier. Now falls back into the top 5 in the number 4 position. Dalton in front of him, Walford behind him, and we're all single file as they work off 4 again, Ryan.
Yeah, they work off of their 4 into 1, and Stoltz and Walters, that gap out in front is, sort of stabilized. And, Stoltz looked like he was driving away from the field a little bit, but now it's all stable out front. And it kind of seems like everyone's getting into a groove and just trying to work these last 12 laps before the caution comes out.
Obviously, Slick Rick on the scoring pylon earlier in the race. RC Slick actually is the race control. And there were a couple of drivers that were not able to start the race. Andon Mendenhall decided not to run, and so did Bryson Brinkley. And man, Bryson Brinkley went through a pretty crazy night last night at Caraway as well. Him and Camden Thomas fighting for position in the limited late model feature got pretty heated there at the end. As a matter of fact, Camden Thomas was holding up Bryson Brinkley. Bryson was the faster car, and let's just say Bryson had to kind of use a bump and run coming to the white flag, coming out of 3 to get around him. And, well, Camden Thomas didn't like it, and he used the right rear hook on him on the cool-down lap after the checkered flag failed going into turn 1. And got some people a little mad, got the Randolph County Sheriff's Department involved, and just a typical sometimes night at the racetrack, Ryan.
Yeah, there's always chaos at racetracks.
Oh, luckily cooler heads prevailed, so. We rock and roll onto the race with this one, as currently right now standing in front is the driver of the number 02. Stoltz out in front, still continuing to lead the way. That's Aaron Stoltz. Mason Walters is now got second. Peanut Baker, who led some of the race, now falling back into the top 5 now. 4th still behind Ross Boo Boo Dalton. There you see his car. As a very calm race right now. Everybody is all single file. Race number 6 of the Leadfoot Racing League going on tonight here for the series. Don't forget, race number 7 of the year will be at Southern National Labor Day weekend next Sunday night. And I don't know if I'll be with you or not, guys. It depends on how late the races go for my real life obligations. But I'm sure Ryan and Travis will, Tracy will be there. Ryan and Tracy, because obviously I know the Leadfoot Racing League starts up with, as well as Ross Dalton Racing next Sunday night. So maybe I could be here. Might be a little late. I don't know. Just have to see. Bradley Walford right now in 7th spot. Battling now with Mullins and company. There is, oh, baby. Look at that one. Walford down to the inside, trying to make a move on Mullins. Got the Ethan Johnson car in front of him, the 27 star.
Yeah, these three in the back, they're fighting for 5th position, but they've definitely are using all the racetrack here and going quite aggressively here for that 5th position.
Coming up on that competition caution here, presented by Blue Line Soft Wash, and a couple of laps is right now. It is still Stoltz continuing to lead. Walter second, Dalton, and one more lap to go to lap number 40. And then they'll have to complete lap 40, and then the competition caution should be displayed. Half mile here at New Smyrna Speedway, the home of the World Series of asphalt short track racing every year in February down to Speed Weeks. Where we are tonight at New Smyrna Speedway, the home of the Red Rose 100, the Governor's Cup, and so many other great races at New Smyrna Speedway down in Florida. But the World Series, that's the big one. And right now they'll come to the line, and Stoltz is still in the lead, followed by Walters, Dalton, Baker, Johnson, your top 5. And did they change their mind? Did we have no competition caution, maybe? Oh, wow. Yeah, I thought they were doing one. I thought I saw that in the thing, but maybe not. Wow. All right, we race on. Still racing. I'm finding out from Ross right now if we Mullins on the inside. There goes the 27 star. That's Johnson and Walford. We're watching that battle now. Continuing with 5th, 6th, and 7th. And they're racing on. So, yeah. Oh, there was a competition caution, but maybe not. All right. Well, we continue to race on here with Stoltz in the top spot, Walters in second, Dalton third. There is the PPG number 16 entry, the PPG entry of Mason Walters right there. Good solid run for him. Ross. Yeah, scoring ticker shows him as 500, but he's in car 16 right now. So obviously we don't know what that's about, but maybe his iRacing number is 500, and that's what they label him for. So all the while, Dalton back in third in the 50. We would love for the numbers to match the scoring ticker, Ryan. You know that. You know I'm anal about that.
I know you love the numbers to match up, but we have our second caution on the Speedway.
This is the competition caution, everybody. Competition caution at lap number 50. I think I said lap 40. My apologies. It is a competition caution on lap number 50. I knew there was a comp yellow. This will let us step away and take an extended break. You're not going to miss nothing. We're going side by side. More word from our awesome sponsors. Back from New Smyrna, Leadfoot TV, a new era on iRacing, and the Ross Dalton Racing Driver development, late model stock E-Tour has 75 to go. Blue Line Soft Wash is a veteran-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing integrity and precision to exterior cleaning. Founded by a retired law enforcement officer, and we proudly back the men in blue. Blue Line Soft Wash upholds the values of service, commitment, and attention to detail in every job. Trust Blue Line Soft Wash to protect and enhance your property with the same dedication they once gave to protecting our community. Protect and serve. Protect your car with Blue Line Soft Wash today. Tar River Environmental, located in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, is a premier provider of professional logging and land clearing services, proudly serving communities across the Tar Heel state of North Carolina. Their services are vital for large-scale land development and forestry operations. By prioritizing responsible land management, Tar River Environmental helps clients achieve their land use goals while maintaining ecological integrity. Find more details on Tar River Environmental, located in Rocky Mount, on Google today. Big thanks to Blue Line Soft Wash, Stubby Energy, Tar Heel Environmental. We're back underway here for the second caution coming to an end, and the competition caution over. Some drivers did elect to come down to the pit lane. Only one. Cliff Mullins, Ryan. Nobody else is on pit road yet, and Dalton is going after Walters for the lead.
Yeah, but Stoltz is out in front still. He's got a good jump off of that restart, so he's continuing to lead. But Dalton and Walters are definitely battling hard for second place.
Hey, boo-boo, sideways as Walters dives it in down to the inside of the 50. Peanut Baker watching along, and they are not done bumping and banging yet. Sheet metal rubbing for the bridesmaid spot, and Stoltz loves it as he pulls away. We're closing in on halfway in the Sunshine State 125 tonight.
Yeah, Stoltz is definitely enjoying it out front, seeing these guys battle behind him in his mirror. So he's hoping they continue to battle and he can drive away into the night sky.
Southern National next week, the High Banks at Kenley. You know, Ryan, I'm ready to see Wake County be on iRacing. Wouldn't that be pretty damn cool? Wake County Speedway on iRacing.
I would love to have Wake County Speedway on there and, turn some laps on Wake County. But it would definitely be fun to have Ross Dallins League to go out to Wake County and race there if we ever got it on iRacing.
As, by the way, we're closing in on halfway. If there were 5 tracks that I would pick that I've been to across the country, announcing real life, that I'd love to see on iRacing. 1, Winchester, Indiana. I think it's going to happen eventually. Number 2, Anderson Speedway in Anderson, Indiana. Number 3, Dillon Motor Speedway. I'd love to see that track on iRacing. Caraway Speedway and Wake County Speedway. Those are my 5 tracks, and a wild card has got to be Orange County Speedway. Ryan, what would be your 5?
Probably Wake County Speedway and Orange County Speedway are my top 2 that I would definitely love to have on iRacing.
you go. And if you want to put a dirt track on iRacing, hands down, County Line Raceway. County Line Raceway and maybe Lakeview Motor Speedway would be pretty cool to have on dirt. Yeah. And we're, by the way, halfway home, second half of the race. Here in the Sunshine State 125. Sunshine is nighttime here on the iRacing server. Look at Walters going after Dalton for that spot. Inside, Peanut Baker along as well as they work into 3 and 4. So the first half of the race only saw a couple of caution flags, one for an on-track accident. And whoa, Walters and Dalton almost get together, and Peanut Baker trying to go 2 for 1. Fourth to second. Yeah.
Dalton almost went around there on the front straightaway. That could have ended badly for second place there as they were battling on that front straightaway.
Back to 1 to 2, single file is what I was trying to say, not side by side. Hashtag fake news. Single file back stretch. Stoltz is loving what's happening with the RDR team cars of Dalton, Walters, and Baker. This lets Aaron Stoltz pull away down to the inside, heading to lap number 70 of 125. Round number 6 tonight. Midway point of the season for the Ross Dalton Racing late model stock E-Tour. Single file back into corner number 1 and 2 is on the bottom. Comes the 16, that's Walters, along the driver door of Dalton, side by side, up the hill, banging, sheet metal, side by side as they work back round into 1. Peanut Baker loving this, by the way.
Yeah, Peanut Baker is loving that in third as Walters is able to clear Dalton for second as Peanut Baker follows him and steals third place off of Dalton.
Drivers working their way back into the corner, single file again.
There's a caution out on track.
We got a yellow. Yep, we sure do. Trying to find where it happened. And, man, I'm not sure what took place. Wow. Maybe Ethan Johnson. No, maybe Ethan Johnson, maybe. I think Ethan Johnson might have got spun there. We'll see. Check out a replay. Adam Millett is 66 laps down. I don't know if something happened to him. I think it might have been Ethan Johnson right here. As we go back in reverse. New Smyrna. And I don't see anything yet. All right, keep on going. I don't know what happened. Oh, there it is. I told you. Ethan Johnson going around. Watch this. Here it is, Ryan. Whoa, Nelly. Okay. What the hell? What is he doing? What? Oh, wow. Everybody's coming down pit road except Stoltz and Walters. Okay, so we don't know what the heck happened, but driving in reverse to go into the pits is a new one for me, Ryan. Ha!
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen in a while, so that's definitely very interesting.
Telling you. Aaron Stoltz leading. Mason Walters and Peanut Baker. They're pitting. They're not pitting. We're stepping away. When we come back, we're under 50 to go here at New Smyrna. Stay with us. Ross Dalton Racing on Leadfoot TV. Eastern Technical Design Incorporated provides design and drafting services for commercial, industrial, and residential construction. Services include architectural renderings, preliminary plan design, as well as final construction drawings. These drawings include all the necessary structural building, plumbing, and mechanical electrical plans as required to produce and deliver a finished building and/or structure. This company is proudly owned by LFRL's Tracy Brown. Eastern Technical Design. Well, if there's one thing I hate taking commercials off the screen. But we are back underway. Green flag in the air. Under 45 to go now when they come to the line. Welcome back to coverage of Leadfoot TV and the Ross Dalton Racing Late Model Stock E-Tour. I'm Wesley Outland. Ryan Tompert alongside Tracy Brown on production. By the way, don't forget Leadfoot Racing League Season 4. Launches next Sunday night. Hopefully you spend your Leadfoot weekend with us on Labor Day. Whoa, look out! Oh, no! Ross Dalton around. Trouble, turn 4. Caution out with 44 to go. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Look at this. Just battling hard for position, Ryan. What do you think?
Yeah, just battling hard, and it just looks like that 16 got into Ross Dalton there. Just looks like a little bit of a racing incident there. Can't put too much blame on one driver for that incident, but it sends Dalton tumbling down the field and currently placing him in 6th place.
Yeah, Ross Boo Boo Dalton and the number 500 on your scoring ticker, the 16 is, again, Ross Dalton and Mason Walters. So caution out. By the way, our replay presented by 4 Wide Motorsports. Thank you also to Eastern Technical Design, Tar River Environmental, Blue Line Soft Wash, Dubby Energy, and the Community Radio Network, and more. By the way, don't forget to tune in to coverage of football on CRN. And don't forget that the touchdown and scoring recaps are presented by Eastern Technical Design. Yeah. 42 to go. Stoltz in the lead. I feel, Ryan, that Stoltz has pretty much dominated this thing after he got around Peanut Baker, or Peanut Baker slipped on his own and fell back.
Yeah, Stoltz has definitely been, the dominant car tonight. He's been out front for a while and, has kept that position and has let the battles ensue behind him. And, on all of these restarts, he gets out to a good jump and has no one to worry about. So, he's doing a great job tonight.
We will try this again. There is 40 laps to go. Remember, caution laps don't count. Back underway here, New Smyrna. Whoa, trouble, restarts, Speedy Bird, bottom of the racetrack. Got tangled. Collected a couple other cars. Yellow will fly. It looked like Mullins and Bird might have got together. Mullins and Bird, the 37 of the 16. Watch again on the front row 2. Outside, there he goes. Oh, man, I don't think Bird realized Mullins was down there, and he came back up, and then he collected a Ethan Johnson, got a piece of it. Peanut Baker, I think, was able to stay high and miss it. Watch again. Wow. Watch the replay, Ryan, and you can see Mullins I just think he didn't I don't think Speedy Bird realized Mullins was there. He was trying to drop down below in the sound gear car, and he got into Mullins.
Yeah, it just looks like a very weird incident there. Um, it seemed like they were turning already for turn one there, and they had contact while they were
Yeah.
still being on the straightaway. So it definitely a bit of an odd incident there, going into turn one.
It very was. And I mean, we already saw the replay of it. You make your own speculation of what you think, but I don't want to say that Mullins is at fault. I just think that Speedy Bird was trying to get back down to the inside, and Mullins wasn't going to lift on the bottom.
Yeah, it's just a very, I mean, it's a weird incident. I mean, you could probably put blame on somebody there, but it's pretty close to a racing incident, so you know a very weird
I don't know
incident.
if I don't know if I could put blame on anybody, to be honest with you. I just think that it was just both of those guys fighting for that same spot, and what happened. Ethan Johnson, by the way, now being showed as the new leader because some guys in the front pitted. Ethan Johnson in the 27 star, he was caught. He got a little piece of the accident. He comes out smelling like a red rose. He's in the lead. 35 to go here at New Smyrna Speedway. We come back to the CRN restart zone, FWM green flag, and we are back to it again. Man, what a great restart. This time we'll keep an eye on. But, well, New Smyrna Speedway, where we are. And right now we are watching, keep an eye on Stoltz. I'll tell you, Ryan, Stoltz has been the highest climber tonight. I mean, he's been really good to watch. And now we're watching to see what he can do through lap traffic. And he's climbing through the field right now.
Yeah, I believe he pitted there under that last caution to get some new tires. So he will have the freshest and fastest tires, fastest car probably to get to the front. But he's got to get through Walters here in second, and Ross Dalton, who's leading the race.
Aaron Stoltz now third. Let's set his sights on Walters and Dalton back up in front. Remember, he had problems earlier. Right back in the battle again here as they work off the corner. Single file. 30 laps to go now. Dalton leading. Russ Dalton has not won a race since round one when he won at Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway. There has been 5 different winners in 5 races. Ross Boo Boo Dalton, could he be the man to be the first-time winner? Obviously, Jacob York was going to be the first 2-time winner of the year. However, his finish was disqualified at Myrtle Beach last Sunday night, giving a win to another first-timer. And 5 winners in 5 races now. So we close in on under 30 to go. Ross Dalton in the lead. Stoltz is in second. Walters in third. And honestly, Ryan, those have been probably the top tier 3 trio cars in this race tonight at New Smyrna.
Yeah, the top 3 have definitely been the top cars tonight. And Stoltz was able to get by Walters there about 2 laps ago. And, now he only has a little bit of clear air in front of him, about 5-6 tenths of a second to Dalton. So he's going to use this clear racetrack to hopefully close up that gap that Dalton has and pass him with 25 laps to go.
Stoltz on the inside, followed by Walters right there behind him. 25 to go. 100 laps completed when they come to the line right now. 25 remaining. By the way, Ross Boo Boo Dalton, fastest car on the racetrack. 17,902. P1 clicking in all cylinders as we move to the home stretch here tonight. What a drive. There's Ross Boo Boo Dalton there in the number 50 machine, continuing to lead. Obviously, laps ticking down. By the way, if you'd like to know more about the Ross Dalton Racing and Development, get a car, be a sponsor, become a driver, contact Ross Dalton Racing and Development on Facebook. Had some pretty cool talent behind the wheel. Mason Walters ran last night at Caraway. So did Rylan Lauder, young Rylan Lauder, first time in a Fender's car after competing in the open wheel world. His father, Josh Lauder, and his dad, Dean Lauder, some of the greats of the open wheel late model world, champions in their own right. And now Rylan Lauder, Flying Ryan, having the opportunity, and he really loved the car. Said driving an open wheel car, different than a fendered car. A lot more competition he felt in a fendered car than an open wheel car, because in an open wheel car, you control your own driving destiny, he felt. The young driver did. 20 laps to go. There is Peanut Baker, what might have been for the man in 7th spot right now. Multiple laps down, and it is down to these three guys fighting it out with under 20 to go. It's time to dig! Oh, it's time to dig. The Golden Racing, time to dig. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and Stoltz is definitely digging here. You know, these last 10 laps that as he was able to get past Walters, you know, he's been sometimes, you know, a 10th or two, or, you know, 500th of a second faster than Dalton, but, you know, of these last 10 laps on this run, you know, he's been faster than Dalton up front. So Stoltz is definitely gaining a lot of ground here for first place.
By the way, my apologies. 25 to go should have been time to dig. I'm a little late on the whistle there, right? The Golden Racing, time to go with 25 to go. But at the end of this one, you know you got to get on it right now. It's go time. And again, time to go, time to dig. 25 to go, presented by Golden Racing. 15 to go now. Day late and $1 short, but we did at least get to mention the sponsor. Because right now, Dalton is leading, and there goes Stoltz, man. Stoltz in hot pursuit to run this guy down here.
Yeah, well, Stoltz is definitely close to the gap. Walters has been hot on Stoltz's heel. You know, Walters has sticked with him this entire time, so, you know, he's just getting pulled along here towards the end of the race.
I mean, he's running him down. He really is. One wrong slip, he'll be there. Look at now Mason Walters on the inside of Stoltz. Stoltz up high. Bounces off the wall. Bounces off Walters. He's down to the inside again, and we're door to door. Battle for second lap car. Up in the battle of the trio. Peanut Baker, who was a front runner earlier tonight. Could he get in there and make a fit for the finish? 11 to go now as Ross Dalton loves what's going on between Walters and Stoltz. He is pulling away here.
Yeah, that gap was 0.2 of a second before they started battling, and now it's almost a half a second. So Ross Dalton out front is definitely enjoying all of this battling happening between Walters and Stoltz for a second.
Yeah, certainly is, man. And obviously time running out as we continue to watch these guys battle. Now under 10 remaining, 9 to go. It's on. It's go time. Who will it be? Obviously, as they set themselves up. Off of 4. Look at Walters sideways again as he dirt tracks it. Stokes right there, Peanut Baker lap car. 18 laps down, might I add, but fighting it out with the final top 3 here to decide the finish, maybe. It's Dalton pulling away from everybody. He took off last week to try to handle race operations. He hasn't won since the season opener, lid lifter at Kern County. And now trying to become the first repeat winner of the year. It's right now Dalton pulling away as Walters and Stokes continue to battle for second here. Ryan, it's coming out of the end, buddy.
Oh, as Walters goes around there in turn 2.
Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh,
as caution comes out.
Slams into Walters. Wow. Uh-oh. Caution out again. Watch the replay. Did Walters just lose it, Ryan? I don't think Stokes got to him. Yeah, he did. Uh-oh, he did. Yep, he sure did.
Yeah, Stoltz got to him there in between turn 1 and turn 2 and spun him around. Then Mullins came in there hot and just hit that 16 car there of Walters. You know, the green flag was still out as Mullins was coming around 1 and 2, and you know he would have had no idea that there was a car, you know, parked in the middle at the exit of turn 2 and just hit him as hard as we see a replay on board from Mullins.
Another look at it again. Watch it one more time on board with Mullins. Wow. Well, this changes everything. And I got a feeling we're probably getting ready to set up overtime as well. Dalton and Stokes are going to be right there side by side with one another. And how about Speedy Bird, Ryan? Now he's going to get a chance to battle. So is Ethan Johnson. And don't count out Mason Walters. He's still on the lead lap. 5 cars on the lead lap as we will at least get one attempt at overtime coming up here at New Smyrna.
Yeah, with this caution, it sort of resets the race, you know. It brings in a lot of contenders that fallen back, and, you know, now it's anyone's ball game here as Dalton got hit there by the 16 cars and Bird.
Lights off for the pace car. One shot at it, ladies and gentlemen. This would be lap number 124. They would be coming to the W Energy 1 to go. But they are going overtime. Green, white, checker, go time at New Smyrna. Who's going to be smiling in the Sunshine State here tonight? Dalton, Stokes on the bottom. Right there with the 50. They pull away from Bird and Johnson. Single file. Here they come. W Energy 1 to go. Final time here at New Smyrna. Last lap. Stokes right there to the left rear of Dalton. Is he going to move him out of the way? He will not. Ross Dalton, first 2-time winner of the season in the RDR Driver Development Series Late Model E-Tour here tonight at New Smyrna Speedway. Aaron Stokes just could not run down the 50. He'll settle for second. How about Speedy Bird? What a comeback for Speedy Bird. Had problems earlier. He finishes on the podium in third of the Sound Gear entry. Remember what happened between him and Mullins on a restart? What a way to come back and finish third here, Ryan Tomford.
Yeah, Bird had some troubles there in the earlier parts of the race, but a good recovery and, you know, finishing third on the podium is a good result for him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here is a look at your results here tonight for the Sunshine State 125. And there it is, Ross Boo Boo Dalton picking up the win when it's all said and done. Time of race, by the way, 40 6 minutes, 22 seconds when the checkered flag fell. It is Ross Boo Dalton pick up the win over Aaron Stoltz. Speedy Bird will finish third, all the way from the 9th starting position. Then it's going to be Ethan Johnson and Mason Walters will finish in the top 5, Ryan.
Yeah, Cliff Mullins finds himself in 6th place after that wreck at the end of the race. Peanut Baker found himself 15 laps down from starting from the pole position. And the rest of the drivers are Bradley Wolfhard, who found himself 45 laps down, and Aidan Millett found himself 117 laps down. And that was all of your drivers tonight.
There it is. We're going to take an extended break, and when we come back, we are going to grab the drivers on the podium. By the way, we want to mention also Andon Mendenhall and Bryson Brinkley. They did not they decided to not run the race after attempting to practice, qualify, what have you. They did not run the feature. R.C. Slick was the race director. Ross Boo Boo Dalton, the first winner in 6 weeks of the Ross Dalton Racing Late Model Stock E-Tour, the first repeat winner, that is. He won at Kern County when we started this deal. He wins again tonight. New Smyrna will step away. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're grabbing him on the podium next. This is Leadfoot TV and our coverage of the Ross Dalton Racing Late Model Stock E-Tour. This has been the Sunshine State 125 post-race coming up in a moment. Eastern Technical Design Incorporated provides design and drafting services for commercial, industrial, and residential construction. Services include architectural renderings, preliminary plan design, as well as final construction drawings. These drawings include all the necessary structural, building, plumbing, and mechanical electrical plans as required to produce and deliver a finished building and/or structure. This company is proudly owned by LFRL's Tracy Brown. Eastern Technical Design. Contact them today at 252-245-1599 or email them at easterntechnicaldesign@gmail.com. Commercial, industrial, and residential construction. Eastern Technical Design is the perfect plan for your building needs. Blue Line Soft Wash is a veteran-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing integrity and precision to exterior cleaning. Founded by a retired law enforcement officer, and we proudly back the men in blue. Blue Line Soft Wash upholds the values of service, commitment, and attention to detail in every job. Trust Blue Line Soft Wash to protect and enhance your property with the same dedication they once gave to protecting our community. Protect and serve. Protect your car with Blue Line Soft Wash today. Tar River Environmental, located in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, is a premier provider of professional logging and land clearing services, proudly serving communities across the Tar Heel state of North Carolina. Their services are vital for large-scale land development and forestry operations. By prioritizing responsible land management, Tar River Environmental helps clients achieve their land use goals while maintaining ecological integrity. Find more details on Tar River Environmental, located in Rocky Mount, on Google today.
would you like a spot of tea and some crumpets?
Sunshine State 125 in the books here at the virtual New Smyrna Speedway. We will grab the top three drivers in just a moment. But first, we need to pause for station identification. If you're listening on the radio in Smithfield, Johnston County area, this is CRN, the Community Radio Network, and our Sunday night coverage of iRacing.
This is the Community Radio Network, WCRN. 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Smithfield, North Carolina. Proud to be in the USA. We are CRN.
New Smyrna Speedway, round number 6 of the RDR Driver Development Late Model Stock E-Tour in the books. And Ross Boo Boo Dalton joins us now as the first repeat winner of the season. Obviously a little controversial last week at Myrtle Beach. But tonight, New Smyrna, Ross got back in the car, picks up the win. It wasn't easy, though, Ross. I mean, you got caught up in a little tangle there with you and Walters, all four, racing deal, raced your way back, had an overtime shootout. But at the end, you're on top. Congrats.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah. Last week was a little crazy. As y'all can see, car count's down a little bit. We had to do some cooling of some bad apples and got them out. And
house cleaning.
Yeah, a little house cleaning. So we got a few bad apples. Got a few bad apples out of the bunch, and was much better show tonight. There was some racing incidents, but everything that happened was pretty much normal racing, so it was nice not to have people driving over each other for no apparent reason. Super grateful for the group that we have. It's only going to grow and get better, and we're working hard to make sure that we keep going in the right direction coming down on the second half of the season here. So we're going to make sure that we keep making things better, and it's a lot more fun whenever we can actually race and not have to ride around under caution.
Ross, there were 5 different winners in the first 5 races of the season. What does it mean for you to be the guy that's the heir of what the RDR Driver Late Model Stock E-Tour is, creating this, and obviously being the first repeat winner on the tour?
Yeah, it was. It's pretty awesome. Aaron and Mason, we was all in Discord call together, and they was talking about how they pitted 3 or 4 laps after me, and then me and Mason got together while I was on my new tires, and it spun me around, and I was like, we got better tires than him. Let's go get him. And I let him get to my back bumper, and I just romped down on it and got away from them. So they was all been out of shape. They didn't understand what the heck had happened there, so it was pretty funny showing these boys who the boss man still is.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, no doubt about it. And listen, congrats in real life. Kudos. Cody Griffin winning, obviously, in the Charger race last night. Rylan Louder putting a young hot shoe with the Louder family in that car, a guy that normally runs in modifieds over the years. The Louder name I mentioned, very popular from Archdale and Lawndale, up in the western part of North Carolina, I meant to say. And obviously Mason Walters, we'll talk to him in a moment, but obviously having himself a good top 3. Real life racing, taking it to iRacing. What is the similarities and what is the differences of the two, Ross?
Oh, man, it's a little more laid back, a little easier to navigate and have fun with. Saturday nights. Fridays and Saturdays is our serious 2 days, and it's easy to come in here and just relax and take a load off, talk about what our weekend consisted of, and have a good time on Sunday night. So it's a lot of fun. And man, I'm gonna be honest with you, to take 3 race cars to Caraway and not finish out of the top 3 with any of them was pretty huge. I was super proud of it. I really wanted Mason to be one spot better. We fought really hard on that car to in the last couple weeks to make it better, and we found some really good speed, Kingsport and Orange County, and crew chief let the driver down just a little bit on Saturday. Missed him just a little bit in the race, got him a little too free on entry. So, but still come home second. Never okay running second, but if we had to finish second, I guess second's better than third. So,
and to
but
have 3 cars finish in one piece, loading them up
Yep.
on the trailer, that's always a good thing, right?
Yep, everything loaded up in one piece, and we can work on making them faster. We ain't got to work on putting them back together. So that's the main thing.
So I got to ask you this question. It was unveiled last night while I was on the play-by-play for TV that there was going to be a $10,000 to win limited late model race at Caraway. How many RDR cars can you bring, or how many will you bring for that race on October the 18th for $10,000 to win?
Well, I know of one for sure that'll be there. I don't know, how many we'll have, but I'm sure that we'll have a couple. Cody said something last night about maybe wanting to move up from charter to limited to run that race. So
Would you
that'd be
race?
good.
Would you do
That'd
it?
that would be a good race for Cody. I'm really debating hard. Me and Dad talked about it actually tonight, about wanting to do it. He wants to get my car back ready and have it ready to go by then for me to race.
Wow.
So really thinking about doing it myself, and then obviously I'd love to take Mason as well. So
There you go. Get ready if you're in the area of the PD region or the Piedmont. Caraway Speedway, October 18th. Nat Pro, 10,000. 10,000 to win, and RDR real cars will be there. So, well, Ross, before I let you go, man, please thank your sponsors. Congratulations, and obviously we'll see you next week, Labor Day.
thank you, sir. We actually talked about that a little bit tonight. Instead of doing it on Sunday, we're talking about maybe we'll obviously talk to you and other guy that runs this deal, but we'll figure out exactly what we're going to do. But we thought about maybe moving it back maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, since everybody more than likely is going to be out of town or something like that. So we'll play that by ear, but we'll figure out exactly what we're going to do on that. But yeah,
That makes me happy. That makes me happy because I'm working real racing next Sunday night, so and next Monday night too. So yeah.
Got to give a huge shout out to all the RDR guys, all these guys that you see that's in this league, man. They've got a hand in our racing program some sort of way. Enoch was missing out tonight, little issue going on there with his computer and stuff. So we'll get that dialed in, get him fixed up. He'll be back next week. And all the RDR guys, like I said, Adam and Jordan and Speedy and Mason, Enoch, everybody that's got a hand in RDR that real life makes it happen. That's what we're here for, making this league race for. So huge shout out to them. Steel Graphics Designs for designing these race cars. A lot of these race cars you see on here, he's made. So huge shout out to Michael Steele. Roof Signs for real life wraps, man. Michael sends it to them and they print it, and they do a fantastic job. Can't thank them enough. Clark's Automotive for the amazing horsepower as always. Mom and Dad for supporting beautiful fiance Logan, and everybody that supports RDR and everything that we do.
There you go. And the boss has still got it. Second win in the RDR Late Model Stock Car Tour. iRacing winner, that is Ross Dalton. Let's grab now second place, and we'll talk to Aaron Stoltz. Aaron, what a great run you had, man. Obviously led some laps. Led a lot of laps, actually. That's an understatement. Car looked really, really good. Could have got up on Dalton there at the end, but I think that you definitely just kind of saved your equipment. It looked like a lot of people weren't pitting. I think maybe people were thinking you were pitting at competition caution. A lot of strategy, obviously, from a lot of different people. And you had some little hiccups, but you rolled back, you rallied back, and you finished second. What's your take of the race tonight here at New Smyrna?
Yeah, I mean, we led most of the laps.
Yeah.
I was trying to do a little tire pit game, whatever, at the comp caution, and it didn't fall into where I needed it. I got into Mason and spun him around on accident. We just kind of went to crap after that. Mason jumped in behind me, let me go because I was faster, and we thought we were rolling up on Ross, and obviously we thought wrong. Like he said, the boss man still got it. He takes care of all of us. So there's no reason for me to drive in there and take care of him for no reason, just for a win. And, the repercussions happen. So, but yeah, we had a good car. It was fun race, not many people. So we had 3 or 4 cautions. I really enjoyed that, not riding under caution every single lap. But I got to thank Ross for letting me join this and taking care of all of us. Thank Michael Steele for the paint. Just everybody that has a play and letting us run on Sunday nights.
You happy with the, if you will, house cleaning? Obviously, I don't want to say you never want to kick anybody out, but obviously, if you got to make some changes, you have to make the program be a lot more successful, I guess.
Oh yeah, if you have to clean house, you got to clean house. When you're putting money up like Ross is, there's money to win this league, and it's not that he don't want them guys to win the money, but you got to have respect. You got to respect the man that's trying to respect y'all. And when you're threatening his family and his guys, and over a simulator that we can all download with an HP computer, I play on a dang piece of junk computer and a TV. So, but yeah, when you're
Right.
getting mad over stuff like that, it's just like Ross said, you got to pick out the bad apples, and he done a very good job with that during practice, and I got to thank him on that one. He definitely saved the night on that one big time.
Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. Obviously, I know you're hungry to want to get a win, but nothing wrong with second. Before I let you go, man, please thank your sponsors. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we definitely want to win. We got to stop flipping first. But yeah, I want to thank I want to thank Michael Steele again, Ross. Everybody that gets me in here, Enoch, Speedy, all them guys. Ricky for being up in the tower. All the broadcasters that sit with us. Just really all those guys that make it good for us to come run Sundays. All I got to do is hit join and go in there and play. They got to deal with all the stressful stuff. So all props to them and y'all. And that's about it.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's Aaron Stoltz. Obviously, he'll put that Stoltz Motorsports entry in the number 2 position. Let's grab now. Speedy Bird. Speedy. Hey. So the JBM Sound Gear Chevrolet had its share of up and down luck, right? But you still rallied back and you finished on the podium. Nothing wrong with a 3rd place, sir, is it?
That's right. Yeah. I got a little tangled up there with Cliff, and this track never been a fan of, and it's so line sensitive. And it took about 3/4 of the race for me to finally figure it out, and I battled back there with the slower cars in the back. But that last caution really helped us, and when we started 3rd right there, and I gave Ross a little bump coming to the green. Let them know I was there, but I didn't have nothing for them boys. I was just trying to hang on. But yeah, it was super fun. First podium finish this year, so hopefully we can take the momentum and move forward with it.
So I got to ask you this question. If we could go back to that restart, you were on the outside from row 2. You moved down to the bottom. I'm thinking did you not realize Mullins was there? Because obviously it seems like it wasn't anything intentional. Were you just trying to get to the inside as fast as you could because you knew you need to be on the bottom?
Correct. Yeah. I spoke with Cliff earlier, and I was just trying to feel a little bit of, give him a little pressure down there and see if he would give, but he obviously didn't. It was just a racing deal. I ain't mad. He ain't mad. So we live to fight another day.
It's good. Nobody's threatening anybody in real life or wanting to beat each other up at the racetracks over a computer game. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
well,
right,
Speedy,
yeah.
man, before I let you go, please thank your sponsors, man. And obviously, thank you for having the time to interview us. And hopefully we'll talk to you again on the podium. 3rd place, first time this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'd like to thank Ross, obviously, for putting all this on. And he's been a heck of a friend in real life. And I'd like to thank JBM, Jordan Blair. He's helped me a lot with this iRacing and just all the guys that already are, Like I said, I think we've got a good foundation now. So hopefully we keep building on it and move on from there. Appreciate your time, Wesley. Thanks for all you do.
Yeah, man. Definitely true. Thank you, buddy. Speedy Bird, ladies and gentlemen, he'll finish at the number 3 position here tonight when it's all said and done for the RDR, Driver Development Late Model Stock E-Tour. By the way, if you'd like to know more information about Ross Dalton Racing Driver Development, follow them on Facebook today. On the world of social media, they got you covered. Again, hit Facebook and go check out Ross Dalton Racing and Development for all the details, information. I think I've seen something where they got a deal where they're doing sponsorship packages, driver packages, you name it. And believe it or not, it really ain't as much as people think. There it is, New Smyrna, the results again here tonight. And obviously, we might be on the air next Sunday night. We might not. It might be another date. That's a meeting that me and Tracy and Ross Boo Boo Dalton are going to have to talk about right now. But before we do that, we got to get off the air. We want to thank y'all for joining us on this new era of iRacing broadcasting on Leadfoot TV. As always, follow us at Leadfoot TV on the YouTube channel. If you'd like to get involved with the Ross Dalton Racing Driver Development or the returning LFRL Late Model Stock Tour as well next Sunday, please reach out to them on Discord or social media. They will help you out in any way that they can. Until then, for producer, director, boss man of Leadfoot TV, the new Leadfoot TV of Tracy Brown, for my color analyst, Ryan Tomford, who had to leave because he had a test to turn in for school. Oh, boy. I'm Wesley Outlet. Thank you for joining us. Good night from the Sunshine State 125, and congratulations to Ross Boo Boo Dalton, the first repeat winner of the Late Model Stock E-Tour for the Ross Dalton Driver Development. We will see you next week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever day at Southern National. Take care. Good evening.